Welcome to Parleh TV.
Plenty of things look easy at first. Skydiving, lion taming, from the comfort of your armchair, all sorts of risks look easy as
Cristiano Ronaldo, Diogo Jota, and Bruno Fernandes literally
blew Russia off the park in a clinical display of attacking football.
Wow.
Sorry, what did you say, Kobe?
Wow, bro.
Let's break it down.
I am Pat Mayo, and I'm here to give you the best pick at the top of the board, the best bet, if you will.
So I'm going to go with just under 25 for Middleton here.
Welcome, everybody, to Luca's Daily Show here on the Parleh. I'm your host, Luca Rosano, and we are back with another action-packed show for all of you. So much to get to in today's show. We're going to be talking Giannis Antetokounmpo. He dominated once again, and his MVP odds all of a sudden look very promising. Then we're going to talk about the Toronto Raptors. Just when you thought this team cannot advance any more further up the Eastern Conference, they have a shot to do that. Then we're going to get into some Canada talk, and then I'm going to give you my best bet of the night. So it's a jam-packed show. We're going to dive right into it, and first we're going to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, who once again had an MVP-type performance against Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn. I got that bet wrong. I told you to take the Brooklyn Nets, but my goodness, man, can we get these two teams in a 7-game playoff series again? That was must-see television. I feel like the last couple of encounters between the Bucks and the Nets have been off the charts. This game going overtime, this game looking like a classic, but at the end, it was Giannis making one more play than Kevin Durant. It was Giannis who was clutch. He hit a three to send the game into overtime, and then he hit clutch free throws to put this game on ice in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis against the Nets scored 44 points, and he grabbed 14 rebounds. And this was actually coming off of another incredible performance he had against the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday. He had 40 points and 14 rebounds in that win. It's crazy to see what Giannis is doing on a game-to-game basis. People forget the dude is only 27 years old, and he's already got 2 MVPs, making a strong case for a third. A Defensive Player of the Year award, a championship, a Finals MVP. Oh, and by the way, last night he passed the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the Bucks' all-time leading scorer. It's crazy how we are so accustomed to Giannis putting up video game type numbers that we are simply overlooking some of these stat lines. But some people are starting to realize what Giannis is doing, and which is why he has been getting a ton of recent buzz for MVP considerations. Right now, he is plus 550 to win the MVP award. And while many people thought this was going to be a two-person race with it going to either Jokic for the second straight year or Embiid, Giannis has all of a sudden inserted himself with 6 games left to play that he could very well be on his way to winning his third MVP. The most remarkable part about Giannis' case for MVP this season and down the stretch is he continues to evolve as a player. When Brook Lopez went out for the Bucks, a lot of people thought that was going to be a huge obstacle to overcome. I mean, he was instrumental during the Bucks run, to winning the championship, especially defensively. But when that happened, Giannis took it upon himself to play that much better. He started playing more minutes at the center position. And in essence, his shooting got better, his free throw percentage got better, his playmaking got better, while maintaining his great defense. He's a front runner to win Defensive Player of the Year, by the way, and rebounding, while putting up over 30 points per game. It's insane. And the Milwaukee Bucks find themselves in second place in the East, ahead of the Embiid-led Sixers, ahead of the Jokic-led Nuggets. So what if Giannis does do it? What happens from that point on? Well, he would already join elite company at just 27 years old. 3-time MVP winners, the shortest list: Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. and LeBron James. That's a pretty damn good list. And while many people think it's going to come down to Jokic or Embiid, let's take a look at both of those candidates. It's very hard for a player to win back-to-back MVPs. It's hard to convince the committee to vote for you again when you just won it. If Jokic does pull it off, he's going to join very elite company. Guys like Bill Russell, Kareem, Wilt, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Jordan, Duncan, Nash, LeBron, Curry, and Giannis. Those are all-time greats. So if Jokic does do it, he's going to join elite company as well. But you look at the Nuggets and their record, this is a team that's just trying to get into the actual top 6 of the playoffs. Now, I know he's had his sidekicks out, guys like Michael Porter Jr. and Murray, but the record doesn't lie. The Nuggets, they're trying to avoid that play-in spot. So that's not going to go well for Jokic's case when it's all said and done. And then you look at the other MVP frontrunner, Joel Embiid. Giannis versus Embiid head-to-head, their numbers are very, very similar. Giannis is actually averaging 1.1 points more. He's shooting the ball better from the field, averaging more rebounds, more, and just 0.2 less in the block steals department. So Giannis is actually putting up better numbers than Embiid head-to-head. So as Bill Simmons pointed out, I mean, this thing's not over yet. Giannis is like, hold up. Don't make your vote just yet. We got a lot of basketball to be played still. And if you are looking to make a bet, maybe it wouldn't hurt putting some dollars on Giannis. Because we know sometimes voters could have recency bias, and Giannis is playing his best basketball at the perfect time. He's beating top-tier teams. He's putting up numbers that we have not seen before. And when it's all said and done, it's going to be scary what Giannis's resume looks like, man, because he's already an all-time great, and he's only going to add on to this list. And what hasn't even been mentioned yet is the fact that the Bucks are very quietly asserting themselves as a team that could very well go back-to-back. I would not bet against this team because they are getting hot late. And when you have Giannis playing the way that he's playing, and he's looking clutch doing it, that's a man you definitely don't want to go up against in the playoffs, unless you're the Raptors. And speaking of the Raptors, let's move on to them now. They have a chance for 4th in the East. Who would have thought that? The Raptors would have a shot for 4th place in the Eastern Conference standings. It's crazy, but you look at it, they're just 2 games back of Philly, who, by the way, they lost against the Pistons last night. You're welcome. I was on the show yesterday saying, take the Pistons plus 9.5. And if you're feeling extra frisky, take them on the money line. Both hit. So because Philadelphia lost, that opens the door. And the Raptors actually would have been in 5th place today if it wasn't for DeRozan's epic comeback of him dropping 50 points in a comeback win over the Clippers. But you look at the Raptors down the stretch, they're going to have a good shot at getting number 4. Let's take a look at their schedules. The Raptors, out of the Sixers and the Bulls, have the easiest remaining schedule. Miami, Philly, Hawks, Rockets, Magic tonight, and the Knicks. Philadelphia has Toronto, Cleveland, Charlotte, Detroit, and Indy. They play the Raptors head-to-head, by the way. So the Raptors could actually officially get that tiebreaker if they beat them next Thursday. And Chicago, they got the toughest. Miami, Milwaukee, Boston, Minnesota, and Charlotte. That's a doable schedule for the Raptors to make up some ground and finish the season out strong. And if Philadelphia slips up like they did last night, that door is open for the Raptors to keep on moving up in the standings. But I think what could be said of the Raptors definitively is they are going to be cleared of that play-in tournament. Because if they beat the Magic tonight, which, by the way, they're 11-point favorites, 11.5-point favorites, they're going to have 3 full games up on the Cavs. So I don't see the Raptors choking away that. And we've seen this Raptors team play well against the top 3. So if this team somehow was to get home court advantage for the first round, that's one team you definitely don't want to see. With vaccine statuses up in the air and just the Raptors having home court advantage and historically being a good home court team, I mean, the Raptors are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. And this is a postseason, in my opinion, where anything can happen. I mean, you look at the East, you look at the West. Yeah, you got your favorites, the teams that everybody are talking about. But this to me just feels like a year where anything can happen. Like, expect the unexpected. You're going to have Brooklyn going in as like the 7th or 8th seed. You're going to have a Clippers team that could get Kawhi back going in as a 7th or 8th seed. We could see bottom seeds make a run this year. The top seeds look vulnerable. So when looking at this Raptors team, I would not sell them short. This is a team that I would not be surprised if they did win a round. Hell, maybe even 2. And when you look at their championship odds, and I am going there, plus 8,000 to win the NBA championship. I mean, considering I put money on the Clippers yesterday and they have a lot of ifs, ands, or buts, this Raptors team doesn't really have ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's back ready to go. $100 to win $8,000. I mean, that's not that bad of a bet. So we'll see how the Raptors finish up the season. But I tell you, if they continue to win these games, they're going to put pressure on the Sixers of possibly dethroning them and taking home court for the first round. And the Raptors, they play the Magic tonight. They are 11.5-point favorites. I'm laying those points. I don't think the Raptors are going to choke away an opportunity tonight because they know they're healthy and they know what's at stake. This is a very winnable game. Do not play with your food. Take the Magic seriously. But I expect the Raptors to blow them out of the water. Get some revenge for the Magic beating them last time in their building. And just like that, we might be going into next week with Raptors, Sixers on the horizon with a matchup that could determine who gets home court in the first round of the playoffs. Who would have thought? Crazy. All right, so another team I want to talk about that has a chance to possibly miss the play-in. The Lakers. And LeBron James made an April Fool's joke out of the gate. I didn't find it really funny. I mean, you're out of the play-in. You have a terrible record. You shouldn't be making jokes. And he said this on Twitter. I'm out for the season officially. See y'all in the fall. Well, what's not an April Fool's joke is that the Lakers could be getting some much-needed help back tonight against the Pelicans in a must-win. Anthony Davis could be coming back tonight, as Shams reported. And Mark Stein followed that up by saying that if LeBron is feeling better before pregame and that left ankle holds up, we could also see LeBron as well. So just like that, you would have the King and AD back with 6 games left with the Lakers on the outside looking in of the play-in. You look at Anthony Davis, he did miss 39 total games this season, including the last 18 in a row with his mid-foot sprain. And LeBron James has missed 21 over the course of this year, and he's currently dealing with an ankle sprain. So right now, how do the Lakers look in the West? Well, right now, they are currently 31-45, and they are 11th behind the San Antonio Spurs. But the Spurs have the tiebreaker. So if the playoffs started today, the Lakers would be out. That would be a joke on Twitter for days to come. But the Lakers still have a chance. But they got to win one more game than the Spurs, who have a very easy schedule in comparison to the Lakers. Let's take a look at those schedules. The Lakers' final 6 games. Pelicans tonight. Nuggets. Suns. Warriors. Thunder. Nuggets. Those are teams that you don't want to mess with. And you got the Spurs schedule. Blazers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Warriors, Mavs. The Spurs have a very easy schedule in comparison to that. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. What I will say is this. I give the Lakers a chance because as long as AD and LeBron are out there together, you can't fully write this team off. I know we've been using that as a crane all season long, but it's true. If these two guys return tonight and they look good and you get them for the final 6 games, you can't fully write off this Lakers team, which is why they're very intriguing. Because let's say they do run the table. Let's say they do get into the plan. You have LeBron and AD clicking. That's a very compelling long shot bet. But as much as I'm intrigued, I feel like there's just so many what ifs and buts and things that could go wrong. And for as much as Lakers fans want to be optimistic of, this is the game that's going to turn things around. This is when the season's going to head on an upward spiral. Something bad seems to happen. I just don't see the Lakers getting out of this rut. I would not be surprised if they get into the play-in, but I just don't see them making any noise. I don't. I mean, this is a team that they have fallen short all season long, and it would truly be a story for the ages if they somehow turn this thing around now. But again, you have LeBron, you got AD, you have a chance. I mean, Shaq thinks that this Lakers team can beat the Suns in the first round, which is ludicrous in my opinion, but maybe he knows something we don't. But I will say is we'll see what happens tonight if LeBron and AD do come back. We'll see how they look. And what I said before, anything can happen in this NBA postseason run. So we'll see if it includes the Lakers or not. All right, so we are going to move on now to March Madness. And this is shaping up to be a phenomenal Final Four. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm also looking forward to WrestleMania. But this is up there too. You talk about one of the most anticipated Final Fours in recent history. You got Villanova, Kansas. Kansas a 4-point favorite. And you got UNC and Duke. And UNC and Duke has so much anticipation and so much excitement that Eric Church has canceled an April 2nd concert in San Antonio, Texas to attend this Final Four. And it got his fans pissed off. I didn't know who Eric Church was. Apparently, he's a famous country singer. But the dude canceled his own contest to watch Duke, North Carolina. That tells you how important and big of a game this is. And we know what's at stake. UNC can officially end the run of Duke and send Coach K packing for good. This is his last season, and they would love nothing more than to send their rival coach into retirement. And UNC is an 8 seed, and they're playing with house money right now. This is a team that I don't want to bet against, and they've been playing their best basketball of the season. But something just feels special with this Duke team. This has felt like a Cinderella story tale from the very beginning. It felt like something special was going to happen right when this team started playing their first game. And I just don't see them losing to UNC 2 times in the same season in this magnitude of having your coach retire due to his rival beating them. It's going to be a good game. Both these teams have tremendous playmakers. But I look at guys on Duke's side, guys like Paolo Banchero, who's going to go top 3 in the draft, Jeremy Roach. I think those guys are going to make big plays late. So when looking at this line, UNC +4 does seem compelling, but I just think Duke will make more plays late, and they will not only win this game, but they will cover the -4. So that's actually my bet for this one, folks. I'm going Duke -4. I think Coach K ends his career with a win. I think it's written in the stars. I think it's in the cards. I think Duke gets it back on UNC and they get some redemption here. So hopefully this game lives up to the hype. I think it will. But it's going to be one of the most anticipated games ever. And that's actually going to be the second game of the nightcap. The first game is Villanova, Kansas. Another great game. This is going to be the appetizer to the main event. And this is a game that has me torn because I've been betting against Villanova all season long, all March Madness long, and they've burned me. But I just think Kansas, they're too good defensively. This is a team, they clamp you up in the second half. They're led by veterans. They're a #1 seed for a reason. And for that reason, I'm laying the 4 with Kansas as well. I'm going with 2 favorites on Saturday night. And I think the NCAA championship game on Monday will be Kansas versus Duke. But get ready, Hoops fans. If you're a fan of basketball in general, this is going to be must-see basketball. And I'm going to watch these games with WrestleMania by my side as well. We won't get into WrestleMania for today. I don't think you want to hear me talk about wrestling. What you do want to hear me talk about, however, Canada officially in the World Cup for the second time ever, man. I was so excited that I said on yesterday's show it was the first time ever. It's actually the second time ever. And we know Canada's group. They will be in Group F in a World Cup draw that felt like it was taking ages to happen. We finally found out who Canada would have the honor of playing at the World Cup. Their Group F table looks like this: Belgium, Morocco, Croatia, and Canada. Let me start by saying this. It's still surreal. I got to pinch myself to see that Canada is actually in the World Cup with these lucrative clubs next to their name. I mean, just take this group, for example. You have Belgium and Croatia, World Cup greats, with Canada in the same group. It's insane. I still can't believe it's happened. But the reality is, Canada's going to be here, and they're going to look like they belong, in my opinion. While many people are looking at Belgium and Croatia and thinking that this is going to be a very short exit for Canada, all I'll say is this: do not sleep on Canada. Do not underestimate them, because this is a team that is young, they're hungry, and they're playing with house money. You look at their World Cup odds, they actually got worse. They started at plus 10,000, now they're plus 12,000. So clearly odds makers don't agree with what I'm saying. But in this group, the clear-cut favorite, of course, is going to be Belgium. But after that, I think Canada has a shot. Call me crazy, but I think they're better than Morocco. They could beat them straight up. And then the key game is going to be Croatia. And I know Croatia is great. They have had legendary runs in the past. I mean, they were a finalist in 18? But that's an aging team, man. And we've seen these teams fall off the cliff before, where this could be their last hurrah, people thinking it's going to be special, and it goes the other way. So if Canada could somehow get a draw against Croatia, they beat Morocco, and even if they look lifeless against Belgium, you secure 4 points, you could be playing in the knockout round of the World Cup. And I know that's a lot of excitement for right now. We're still grasping the fact that Canada's here. But I'm looking ahead. Do not sleep on Canada's chances, man. Because this is a team that could make some early noise before they host one in 2026. So I'm excited to see this World Cup go underway. All these groups look pretty compelling. I think, aside from Group A, all these groups are relatively balanced. And this could be a World Cup where we see some strange things happen. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to order my Canada kit. I can't wait to see how Canada looks at the World Cup. But I'm still waiting for them to draw Italy's name, man. I still can't believe the Italians won't be with the Canadians and other nations at this World Cup. I'll save that rant maybe for another day, but it's going to be all about Canada come November. And it's going to be about how this team looks on the grand stage. So we'll see. If you're feeling lucky, put $50, put $100 on them. You never know. All right, so we are going to end the show with my best bet. And I can't believe I'm doing this, because I've told many people that I wouldn't do this anymore. But I'm giving them one last chance, one last straw. I'm putting faith in the Lakers. Give me the Lakers plus 1.5 against the Pelicans tonight. Assuming they get AD and LeBron back, they got to be in urgency mode. They got to treat this as a must win. And this is the last ever bet I'm going to make on the Lakers if it goes sour. Do not prove me wrong, Lakers. Stand up, make a statement, beat the Pelicans, and prove to people that you are not finished just yet. So I'm getting 1.5. They're at home. They're getting their stars back. Tonight is do or die for LA. I'm going with do. Give me the Lakers plus 1.5. I think they get it done. I'm crazy, I know. I make a lot of bold predictions on the show. I just hope the Lakers don't make me look like an idiot again. Last time I'm betting on the Lakers, for better or for worse. So we'll see what happens. But that's going to conclude another edition of Luca's Daily Show here on the Parlay. where I come to you every single day, Monday through Friday, breaking down the top storylines in sports and looking at some of the betting lines associated with them. If you like this podcast, leave it a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You can follow us all over social media at The Parleh. And let me know what you think of my bets tonight, and let me know what you think of the show in general. That is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy all the great sporting entertainment to come. And I will catch you all again back here on Monday. Take care, everyone.